Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Generator Founder Series Spotlight. I am Troy Vossler, co-founder of Generator, and today it is my honor to be joined by Anurag Kamal, the co-founder and CEO of ElectricFish. Welcome, Anurag.
Hello, Troy. Thanks for having me.
Let's get started. So, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, and then what is ElectricFish? Tell us about, how did the company come to be? What's the genesis of the company, and what does ElectricFish do?
Great. So I'm Anurag Kamal, or AK, one of the co-founders of ElectricFish. I'm a mechanical engineer by training. Worked on batteries at BMW, Department of Energy, and also during my school at Michigan Tech. And the key idea behind ElectricFish is to rebuild a new electrical grid, a distributed one. And we start by building these 400 kilowatt hour batteries, deploying them in communities and storing energy over time through a sophisticated algorithm when the energy is the cheapest or the carbon is the lowest, and then export energy back when the grid is in crisis or needs energy back. Now, the beachhead for us is to solve the key problem of very fast EV charging, public or community EV charging, in which you need to deliver very fast 400 kilowatts of discharge that is up to 100 miles in 5 minutes, and then not strain the grid itself. So the beachhead use case is to do very fast EV charging at gas stations. That's where we are starting. But again, the long form idea is to build a network of energy assets which can rebuild the entire electrical grid from ground up.
Oh, it's a noble goal. Um, And then what's the current status of the company? However you want to define that. Like maybe that's traction, revenue, notable customers, fundraising, financing. What's the current status of Electric Fish?
Yeah, when we started, it was definitely gas stations, but these are generally pop and mom and pop stores, or even if they're controlled by oil and gas majors or franchised by them, there's a lot of fragmentation. Um, Hence, we had to find ways on how exactly we'll fund the development of this technology while not just relying on like VC dollars. So the initial partners who basically funded the development were electrical utilities. So we got paid by DTE, Con Edison, Los Angeles Electrical Utility, LADWP, and then auto OEMs, Toyota and Hyundai funded some of our deployments as well. So we have deployed in 6 different US cities so far. We have got experience in the field. We have de-risked the technology, and now we are de-risking the business. So we have some customers which are not announced yet, but we are working with utilities and some charge point operators with big orders, and our units are going live in certain geographies across the U.S., California, Michigan, and Washington State being the few of them.
That's awesome. Congrats on that.
Thanks.
I know we were chatting a little bit. It's a real background. You're actually at your facility, your factory. So where are you in the company located?
We are based in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay. It's a place called San Carlos, which is 12 minutes from the San Francisco airport. And it's an 8,000 square feet facility. We do mostly the assembly and testing here. So we expect that we can churn out almost a unit every week from here. That is kind of our goal from this year. So um, yeah, we'll be here at least for the next 12 months. And then we are looking for manufacturing facilities in Michigan, Detroit region to be specific, and some other Midwest states where we'll scale up our manufacturing.
Very cool. Now, thinking about yourself as a founder, as an entrepreneur, what was the biggest challenge you faced as a founder, and how did you overcome it?
Um, I think we're still overcoming that challenge, or like we are still, I would consider, in early stages of our business, specifically because the industry which you're trying to disrupt or like work with is the electrical utilities, which in trillions, right? If you talk about like how much energy, transactions of energy happens across every year. Um, I would say the biggest challenge was to convince that it's not just a hardware business, while hardware is the key enabler of what we're trying to do here. It's a new age company. We are not going to build just dumb hardware and get like a just like producer of a hardware solution. Hardware just enables the new transition of the electrical utilities itself. So Our business is smart. Each of these devices are incredibly smart devices. They transact with the electrical grid, they talk to it. They are able to actively make a decision on when to store energy, when to export energy back, as well as forecast when the EVs are coming up as well. So at times, we are still perceived as highly capital intensive business because it's hardware and it's a big hardware, it's a microgrid. But we have already proven it out that even the first unit which we put on the floor, it was not just liquidating money. We actually got paid by the customer for it. So even if there is an apparent capital intensity to the business, and as we scale, yes, capital will be required, but we are getting paid by the customer. So it's a working capital problem as compared to just a capital intensive business which won't make money for a long time or which not be profitable for a long time. So we're still working through that as we really scale. But yeah, it's the returns would not be like a hardware company or the clean tech 1.0 or the 2.0. I would say we can get those software level returns in the business we're trying to make here.
Very cool.
That's a big challenge. Yeah.
No, it makes sense. And then kind of related to that, what's one thing you wish you learned sooner as a founder?
Um, I think more philosophical, but I'm an engineer and I like to explain concepts in engineering way. I go like into detail and try to explain nits and bits and pieces, which at times throws people off and they're not able to follow along. While concepts or the type of business which you're building is complex and the mode is complex as well. That is why it's very difficult for somebody else to replicate it. They need to break down concepts in a very simple way and try to draw very simple analogies, which at times don't feel great. But like that's what you need to do. You need
Yeah.
to like stop the urge to make it complex, you know? So that's something which should have learned sooner.
It's good self-awareness. I think, entrepreneurs naturally have a core competency, and most entrepreneurs, especially at early stages, I'd say tend to be product or engineering focused. And so it requires that self-awareness to say like, this is my core competency. I actually have to pull myself out of it to do things like business development, commercialization, sales, et cetera. So I think you obviously have the self-awareness around that. Um, which generator program did you go through, and when was that?
So it was the US Energy program that was last year, almost this time, February 2025 was when it was announced. Um, we did that to just make close ties with an energy company, a vertically integrated energy company, and how exactly they were like just learning operations. Like uh, while you did not ask, it was we chose to do the program specifically because like I wanted to understand the operational efficiency of a energy company which operates in like all stages. And it was really nice to just be in person, be in Appleton and go to their factories and talk to their hunchers, understanding like nitty-gritty of their business. So
Yeah.
that's why we did it, and that was a year ago.
And shout out to Andrew, our managing director, and our partners at US Venture who sponsor and support that US Venture Sustainability Accelerator. So very cool.
Yeah,
Tell
Andrew's
us,
amazing.
I agree. Tell us more about your generator experience.
I would say one of the cool things, which some other accelerators do as well, that we were kind of mandated to be there in person, half of the time. We'll travel up there, and I was based there in Appleton. Um, and At times, like being in person, like we are in here in our business, and I really um, like to like I wouldn't say force, but like I really like to support in-person work so that like there are no gaps um, within the organization itself that people know what somebody else is doing, right? But this is what I experienced working with other entrepreneurs in the same room. There were like five entrepreneurs, they were all sitting together. And at times just organic conversations would happen, which will help me solve some of the things which I'm working on, especially like financial model. There was a guy called Ian who is working on a completely different company in tires, but the way he was trying to like break down his capital structure in terms of how we break down into like debt and equity and not let it commingle and how should we think about that. And then we were always presenting to each other. Like every week, one of us will do a presentation on a certain topic. I think that was really my favorite part. And of course, we went out and we had fun too. So I think that was my favorite part of the program, just learning from other entrepreneurs and things uh, which would not come up otherwise.
How would you say the accelerator helped you the most?
Um, I think it's still to happen. As I said, the goal that you started with was the gas station strategy, and through the as the company progressed, we had to focus on like B2B customers, utilities, there's OEMs to fund the initial pilots with us. And while we have certain customers like that who we are scaling with, and the market is kind of niche, like car dealerships is one of the markets, and we're looking at some private depots or like corporate depots which are deploying at. Really, the true scale of company comes with gas stations, and the program, the US Energy, who we chose to work with and got some money from, they work with 700 gas stations across the US. And while EVs themselves are kind of like experiencing a downturn right now because of the federal administration and the tax cuts. And also, I think the technology gap in terms of fast charging needs to be fixed, and every auto needed some breathing room. We have got this time in which we are piloting with US Energy and we're deploying these units at some of these gas stations. Again, like we're still working on it. It's not being announced yet, and we're still like scoping it out. But the idea is that we have enough data while there is a downturn, that we deploy some units, figure out how exactly the installation process works. And then when the prime time of EVs comes back again, when everybody's looking for solution, we'll be fully ready with a certified product and numbers figured out. So I think it's just pivot back to the original business is what gener8tor and the US Energy partnership is going to help us with. Uh, yeah,
Good. Well, good luck. Hopefully that comes through. Um,
Michelle.
let's manifest it. I agree. What advice do you have for entrepreneurs and founders that are considering an accelerator program?
Um, so, ElectricFish itself, we have done a lot of accelerator programs. So, I don't know if it's a biased opinion here, but we certainly have got a lot of help. We have known fellow entrepreneurs through these programs. So we are friends with a lot of them who are building long-term sustainable businesses. And they mostly were like first-time or second-time entrepreneurs. So we got this camaraderie going with them as well. So and also just things which you don't know about, like just formats of things, like market research or like asking like conducting customer discovery interviews, which were the initial programs. But now, how does a contract is structured between a corporate entity? How do you like expect to do an NDA, and then what kind of like how do you split the profit from a deployment? So I think it's just like getting formats of certain kinds of like corporate structures is what I've learned over time, and uh, generally just these resources as compared to you starting from scratch, you just get resources from these incubators which are supporting multiple other companies as well. So I think yeah, just working with other entrepreneurs, knowing them, and then also just getting structures in terms of like building our business bigger is the two main resources which I think incubators can provide you the best value for.
Nice. Tell us about, or what was your favorite part of the U.S. Venture Sustainability Accelerator, or perhaps like the favorite connection that you made as a result of that, either during the program or to the present?
It's not directly related to the business, our business, but as a part of the US Energies program, we actually visited a waste management plant, which US Energy operates because it, of course, helps them with like tax incentives in terms of like they're doing this kind of business, so they can claim like tax incentives on all of the businesses they're trying to do, which makes sense, I guess. Like a lot of corporates do that, but like just seeing how exactly the waste processing is done, and then a lot like every community has their own kind of waste processing plant, and then they do like recycling or waste processing in a different way. So at times in certain jurisdiction, if you crush the bottle, then it can't be recycled anymore. But in some areas, if you don't crush the bottle, then it can't be recycled anymore. It's just crazy. So like that is kind of a very profound insight on how exactly humans process waste and how exactly we're doing it recycling. I think that was my most profound insight, and I just became like more aware, I guess, on how we're treating the earth. It is related to our business in a way, but but not directly. Yeah, we're all
Right.
working towards like making the planet better. Yeah, our planet last
Yeah,
longer.
there's like a lot of behavioral economics that go into that. I agree. Like just the human behavior element of all of that. All right, the last
Yeah.
question I ask every entrepreneur on this interview, if you had one ask for the audience, so people watching this interview, maybe it's an introduction, a mentor, a customer, an investor, or just general advice, what would your ask be?
So the ask because I don't know who exactly the audience is. Like, hey, person. I think what I would like to really hammer home here is that um, a distributed grid, which we're trying to build here, it's a very profound concept. It completely changes how we interact with energy, and each of us are interacting with energy. Like electricity is a basic need, like shelter and food, because you just cannot live without electricity. And it significantly changed. Sorry about that. What we're trying to do is significantly changes the way electrical power reaches us, and it's going to um, um, it is very difficult to imagine, and the transition will happen over multiple decades. Uh, but if you have questions about how exactly the decentralized economy will work, please reach out, give us a follow, like on LinkedIn, and we write some on Medium as well. So yeah, a new
Excellent.
electrical grid. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Anurag Kamal, co-founder and CEO of ElectricFish, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on your success. Please check out the link to ElectricFish in the description below and share it liberally. And we appreciate your time. Thanks, Anurag.
Thanks a ton for having me, Troy, and thanks for making Generator. You know.
Deal. Okay, thank you. Bye now.